Welcome to Financial Health, a 5-minute conversation with Jason Weier of Weier Wealth Management, focusing on your current and future financial goals. This is Financial Health on WOMT.
Welcome to Financial Health here on WOMT, 1240 AM, 1079 FM, and we do podcast each and every single one of these episodes, so go and check them out, chaferpodcast.com. Jason Weier of Weier Wealth Management, how are you today?
Excellent. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you very much for asking.
Good.
Yeah. Hey, Jason, I was, prepping for the show, as I usually do every single week. And
it shows. It shows that it shows on the show.
Thank you, Jason. And I have to ask you, because we talked a couple of weeks ago about possibly doing it yourself or why someone would use an advisor. And I kind of want to bounce off of that. All these apps out there, Jason, like, for example...
There's an app for that, yeah.
Yeah, like, for example, Robinhood is a real big one right now. And I've told you in the past that I've used Robinhood before. And I want to get your opinion as to what the allure of these apps really is and why someone should why someone would choose an app over an advisor.
Great question. Where do we start? Okay, number one is the app, in most cases, is just a platform. So it gives you the ability to trade, buy or sell a stock, a mutual fund, ETF, something like that. In most cases, they're not giving you advice because you have to be registered or licensed differently to give advice. Recommendations. Those are the two biggest words in the industry.
Oh, okay. Because I've noticed with a lot of these apps, what they do is really just like, say, Twitter, or what they just show you what's trending.
What's trending? Yeah. Well, what do you? Let's talk to the listeners here and go down this path. What is trending? Can we define that for the listeners? Ooh. You and I know it, but what does that actually mean when you say trending?
So, Jason, you define it because
come on! I want you to say the word. The one word is usually popular. Does that come to mind?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we say popular, remember high school and junior high, popular kids, right?
Oh yeah.
Is that always the best? Maybe not the best. I think if we can imagine using that theory or approach with investing, just because it's popular, do you think it's a good idea? Maybe. But maybe not.
Exactly.
It's a hard lesson to learn. So in most cases, they're not going to give you advice, meaning you go to them and say, I have $100,000. Where should I put it? They wouldn't do that in most cases. They might give you a suggestion of 20% in international stocks, 50% in large cap stocks. But in most cases, they're not going to give you the specific investment to get into.
Exactly. And Jason, another thing about advisors, especially Weier Wealth Management, is you guys have years worth of data and algorithms and equations that really can project all of these different scenarios to help people on their journey to their ultimate goal.
My 11-year-old daughter loves puzzles. Like, that's her thing. She'll sit for hours doing puzzles.
Wow.
Think of a financial advisor kind of putting the pieces together. Yes, the platform is definitely one area. You come to an advisor for probably access to a platform to trade on. And think of 30 years ago. You're too young, Ian, but think of 30 years ago. Where were you? What kind of stocks were you buying 30 years ago?
Oh, man, Beanie Babies.
Yeah. So the funny thing is like those were stockbrokers. That was a platform. You don't really use advisors to get access to a platform. It's a benefit. It's a feature.
Of course.
But part of that puzzle is putting it all together. Yes, having access to the platform. Then you need suggestions, recommendations, advice. We talked about insurance in the past. Does insurance play a role? Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. If so, how does it look? Maybe we reduce it. I don't like insurance any more than you do, just to be clear. So think of it that way, is that we're putting all the pieces together. It's not just one element.
Interesting. And Jason, thank you so much for clarifying too. Now I think of some stocks as peaking in high school. That's really hilarious. that was a great analogy.
Popularism, yeah.
Yeah,
oh,
definitely.
Goodness. You see those high school kids now sometimes, maybe they're not as popular as they once were. Anyways, we won't go down there.
Hey, they're still reliving 2009.
Some of them are. But I do want to explore this more, and maybe we can continue this next time. But, going back to DIY, we have that checklist. Let's maybe remind listeners again of that checklist if we have time now or next week.
You know what? We do not have time. So listeners, listen next week for that checklist. We will revisit it. And Jason, before time runs out, how do people get in contact with Weier Wealth Management?
Website, WeierWealthManagement.com. Weier is WEIER, wealthmanagement.com. Phone number is 920-242-9470. Look us up on Facebook and LinkedIn.
Awesome. Jason, I'll chat with you next week. It's WOMT.
Securities offered through Advantax Investment Services, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Advantax Advisory Services. Insurance services offered through Advantax Insurance Agency. Views and opinions presented in this podcast are those of Jason Weier and not of Advantax Wealth Management or subsidiaries. Opinions voiced in this material are for general information only, not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual performance. Reference is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All investing involves risk, including loss of principal. No strategy assures success or protects against loss. This is a hypothetical example. This is not representative of any specific investment advice. Your results may vary.
Financial Health is heard every Monday at approximately 11:20 with Jason Weier of Weier Wealth Management. Learn more online at weierwealthmanagement.com. You're listening to WOMT Radio, a Seahafer broadcasting station.